Hello everyone. So in today's tutorial we are going to discuss the next topic of chapter 5 of class 10, that is the trends in the modern periodic table. So over here the very first term that we are doing is the trends. Now what do we mean by trends? Trend means the behavior, that is how the different properties they are going to behave in the group as well as in the period, right? That is, group means the vertical columns and period means the horizontal rows, that is from left to right. So how the different properties they will behave in the group and the period, and how they make the study of these properties easier. So we'll be discussing with two very important properties today. The very first property is the valency, and the second property is also related to this property, that is the valence electrons. Now whenever we talk about valency, so what do we mean by valency? Valency tells us about the combining capacity of an element. Now what do we mean by the combining capacity? That if we know about the valency of that element, we get to know that whether that particular element will combine or not, and if it is combining, with how many monoatomic atoms will it combine. Okay, so as we will move ahead in the topic, so you all will get to know that what do we mean by the combining capacity. So combining capacity, in simple words, we get to know whether that particular element combines or not. Now whenever we have to find out the valency is only determined if we have the knowledge about the number of valence electrons of that particular element. Now how can we find out the number of valence electrons? Suppose I'll give you one example of an element. Suppose I'm talking about sodium. So like we are discussing about the modern periodic table, so we all know that the modern periodic table is based on atomic number, and now it should be clear that atomic number is the fundamental property of the element, right? So we all need to know the atomic number of the element that we are talking about. So here we are talking about sodium, so its atomic number is 11. Now we do not want its atomic mass, because the atomic mass is not a fundamental property, we only want its atomic number. Now once we have its atomic number, now we will start dividing it, right? Basically the atomic number is actually the number of protons, so that is also 11. And if we see this atom is neither positive nor negative, that means that it is neutral, right? So whenever the atom is neutral, the electrons are also equal to the number of proton, and it will be 11 in this case. Now we will start with the electronic configuration, and we all know that we have 11 electrons. Out of the 11 electrons, the very first shell can only take maximum of 2 electrons. Now after taking 2 electrons, how many electrons are left with us? 9. Now the second shell can take a maximum of 8, not more than 8. It can take less than 8 depending that how many electrons are present, but here we have 9. Maximum that the second shell can take is the 8, and now we are left with 1. So it means that the 1 electron will go into the third shell. So in case of sodium, how many total shells are involved? 3 shells. The very first shell is the K shell, then L and M, right? Now over here the M shell is the outermost shell. Okay, so M shell is the outermost shell. This M shell is called as the valence shell. And what is valence shell? Now it is clear that the outermost shell is called as the valence shell, and the number of electrons present in that shell is called as the valence electron. So that is how we get to know about the valence electron. Now this is very important, because this valence electron will help us to find out the valency. Now, using this valence electron, how can we find out the valency? There are two rules to find out the valency. The very first rule says that if the number of valence electrons are from 1 to 4, like in this case, in case of sodium, what was the number of valence electron? It was 1. Okay, so if the number of valence electrons are from 1 to 4, then the valency is also the same, right? So the valency also comes out to be same. So we can say that sodium, the number of valence electrons is equal to 1 and its valency is also equal to 1 in this case, because it is according to the first rule. But sometimes it may happen that when we do the configuration, the valence electrons may range from 5 to 8. It may be any number from 5 to 8. Then we have to apply another formula, that is 8 minus the number of valence electrons. For example, let us take one case over here, that let us talk about chlorine. Okay, so let's take the element chlorine. Now again, very important, since we are discussing about the modern periodic table, atomic number is important because the fundamental property is the atomic number. So it is 17. Atomic number means the number of protons. It is also 17. And since this atom is neither carrying a positive charge nor a negative charge, it means that it is neutral. And whenever the atom is neutral, the number of electrons are equal to the number of protons. That is also equal to 17. Now, once we get the number of electrons, we have to do the electronic configuration. So we'll start distributing the electrons, and as we all know that first shell can have only 2 electrons maximum. Now after giving or putting 2 electrons into the first shell, we are left with 15, we are left with 15, and 15 means the second shell will get a maximum of 8. Okay, and after 2, 8, 10, yes, so 8 comes over here, and now we are left with 7. Okay, so now we are left with 7. Okay, so the first shell is complete, second is complete. The configuration goes like KLM, and M is the outermost shell. Outermost shell is called as the valence shell. Okay, this is the valence shell, and the electrons present in the valence shell are called as the valence electrons. Now we see that the number of valence electrons are from 5 to 8, that is 7 in this case. Okay, now we'll apply the formula 8 minus number of valence electrons, and how much is it? 1. So the valency is coming out to be 1 again. Okay, so this is how we find out the valency, that is we need the information about the valence electrons, right? So as we can see that we have done sodium. Sodium, the atomic number is 11. We do the configuration 2, 8, 1. 1 is the valence electron. It goes to the first rule, that if the valence electron are from 1 to 4, then valency is the same. मतलब जितना हमारा वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन होगा उतना ही वैलेंसी होगा. तो वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन इज 1, वैलेंसी इज ऑल्सो 1. Let's do the second one, aluminium. Aluminium, the atomic number is 13. We'll do the configuration 2, 8, 3. Okay, again outermost shell is M, valence shell it is, valence electron is 3. Again it fits into the first rule, and valency also comes out to be 3. Okay, then moving on to chlorine. We have just discussed the case of chlorine. Atomic number is 17. Configuration is 287. It goes into K, L and M shell. Okay, and M is the outermost shell, that is the valence shell. 7 is the number of valence electron. But now it fits into the second rule, that now the valence electrons, it is in between 5 to 7, 8, and over here it is 7. So we'll apply the formula 8 minus number of valence electron, that is 8 minus 7, and again the valency comes out to be 1 in this case. Let's talk about phosphorus. The atomic number is 15. Configuration is 2, 8, 5. Again 3 shells are involved. M is the valence shell. 5 is the valence electron. Since 5 is the valence electron, again it goes with the second rule. We'll apply the formula 8 minus number of valence electron, and 3 comes out to be the valency. So now we have, this is general, that we have found a way to find out the valency. But now let us all discuss that how will it vary in a group and in a period. Right? So let us all start. So we all can see this is that part of the periodic table which comes for class 10. So now let us all talk about the groups first. Okay, so I am over here taking, let us all take group 1 first. Okay, so group means that we are taking these elements, that is hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. So if we'll talk about these elements, these are group 1 elements. So now let us all see that how the valency varies in a group, in a particular group, that is if we will move from up to down. Okay, so how will the valency change? So before we start with this, we all need to know about the atomic number and the configuration. So when we'll do the configuration, so how are the atomic numbers? So this is the configuration. Like lithium, its atomic number is 3. So the configuration comes out to be 2 1. Sodium, it is 11 atomic number. Configuration comes out to be 281. Then potassium, it is 19. The atomic number. Configuration comes out to be 2881. Then rubidium, it is 2881. So its atomic number, we can add all these and we will get its atomic number. Then cesium, the configuration comes out to be 2881818 and finally francium, it is 288181832 Do you remember the magic numbers? We fill it according to the magic numbers. And if we are not sure about these atomic numbers, we can just move on with the first 3 also. We'll have the idea. So now we all can see that when we are moving in group 1, that is from up to down, the number of valence electrons, okay, after doing the configuration, we all get to know that the number of valence electron is same in each case, that is 1. And since the number of valence electron is the same in a group and it fits into the very first rule of valency, the valency of all the elements of group 1 is also the same, that is 1. Okay, so that is, now we all can say that valency and the valence electrons, they remains same when we go in a vertical column or in a particular group. So in case of group 1, the valency of all the elements will be that will be 1. So we need not know, or we need not have any information about the electronic configuration of like rubidium, cesium or francium. Suppose I am very sure about sodium, so I will do its configuration. I will find out the valence electron. I will have the information about the valence electron. Then I can find out the valency also, right? And I can apply the same rule to all the elements. That is why classification is done, because now it has made our study easy. We need not do the configuration of all the elements. We have done the configuration of 1, 2 or 3 elements and the same rule applies to all the other elements also, right? Just for an example, let us change the group and now we'll be taking group 2 of the modern periodic table, that is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. Okay, so now if we'll move with this group, now we are focusing on group 2. Okay, so we'll be finding out the valence electrons and then we will find out the valency also. Okay, so let us all start. Okay, so now we all can see that beryllium, magnesium and calcium, we are very sure with the configuration of the first 20 elements and we know that the atomic number of beryllium is 4. Configuration will be 2 2. Magnesium, the atomic number is 12. Configuration will be 282. Then calcium is 20. Atomic number, it will be 2882. Now we may not be sure about the rest of the elements because the atomic numbers, they are very high. So even if we are not going by these elements, right, let us just focus on the first 3 elements of group 2. So beryllium, the valence electron is 2. Magnesium also it is 2. Calcium again it is 2. So we can say that all the elements of group 2, they have valence electrons too, and we can see it in the rest of the elements also, right? And if the valence electrons are 2, then applying the first rule for valency, the valency also turns out to be 2. So that is the valency, that is the valency remains same in a group, right? So now we have discussed group 2 also, right? Now let us quickly move on to, let us take one more example, group 17. We will be talking about fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. So we'll be finding out its valence electrons and the valency. Okay, now let us quickly move on to this. Fluorine, the atomic number is 9. Chlorine, it is 17. Bromine, iodine and astatine, if we are sure about their configuration, then we can do the configuration. Otherwise, we will focus on the first two and we'll find out the valency and valence electron for the rest three elements also. Fluorine is 9. We'll do the configuration. It comes out to be 27. Chlorine is 17, it comes out to be 287. So from these two elements, can we see that the valence electrons of fluorine and chlorine, the valence electrons of fluorine and chlorine, they are 7. And for the rest of the elements also it is 7. Okay. Now, applying the second rule for valency, it will be 8 minus 7 and the valency of all these elements will come out to be 1, right? So that is, now we are sure that what happens to valence electrons and valency in a group, they remain same in a particular group when we move from up to down, right? But then what about a period? So period means the horizontal rows, that is from left to right. Now let us take the period number 2 over here. Period number 2 means from lithium till neon. Okay. So if I'll talk about lithium, the atomic number is 3. Configuration will be 2, 1. Beryllium, if I'll talk about, the atomic number is 4. Configuration will be 2 and 2. Boron is 5. Configuration will be 2, 3. Carbon is 6. Configuration will be 2, 4. Nitrogen is 7 in atomic number, 2, 5 is the configuration. Oxygen atomic number is 8, configuration comes out to be 2, 6. Fluorine atomic number is 9, its configuration is 2, 7. And finally neon, its atomic number is 10 and the configuration comes out to be 2, 8. Right. So now we all can see that when we do the configuration in a period, the number of shells remains same and the number of shells in period 2 is K and L for all the elements from lithium till neon that we have done. Okay. Now L is the outermost shell in all these elements. It means that it is the valence shell, and valence shell means the electron present in it is the valence electron. So let us write the valence electron 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So can we say that when we move in a period, the number of valence electrons, they increase from 1 to 8. Okay, so this is the trend of valence electrons, that when we move across a period, the number of valence electrons, they increase from 1 to 8. Clear? It's not the same. It is same in case of a group, but in a period it increases from 1 to 8. Now from these valence electrons, let us find out the valency. Now the valence electron for lithium is 1. It will fit into the first rule. Valency is also 1. Beryllium, okay, the valence electron is 2, fits into the first rule, comes out to be 2. Then boron, the valence electron is 3, fits into the first rule, 3. Then carbon, the valence electron is 4, fits into the first rule, 4. But now nitrogen, the valence electron is 5. Now it will go into the second rule, that is 8 minus the valence electron, and the valency turns out to be 3. Then oxygen, okay, valence electron is 6. Again it fits into the second rule, 8 minus 6, 2. Then fluorine, the valence electron is 7, goes to the second rule, 8 minus 7, 1. And finally, when we talk about neon, it again goes into the second rule, that is 8 minus the number of valence electron, and the valency turns out to be 0. So what is the trend of valency in case of a period? So what we can say, that valency first increases from 1 to 4 and then it will decrease from 4 to 0. Okay, and can we see that neon has got a valency of 0? It means that neon has got a 0 combining capacity, and that is the reason that neon and other noble gases, they are highly unreactive, because they do not combine at all. Their combining capacity is 0. And do we see one trend over here, that in a period there are two groups which have got valency of 1? So that is group 1 and group 17. Okay, this is group 17. Then there are two groups which have got a valency of 2. That will be group 2 and group 16. There are two groups which have got a valency of 3, group 13 and group 15, and only one group which has got a valency of 4, and that is group 14. So I hope that this topic is absolutely clear to you, and how the valency and valence electron, it varies along a group and period, is absolutely clear to you. I have discussed in the period the second one. Apply the same thing with period number 3. Do it yourself. You will be having good knowledge about it then, and you can apply it to the rest of the groups also if you want to do it yourself. Thank you, everybody.